Hello, friends. Welcome to another episode of TV is Our Real Mom. I'm Dave,
I'm Catie.
and you are listening to our weekly Fargo podcast in which we share our thoughts on the latest episode of Fargo. And Wednesday night we had episode 5 of the season. That marks the halfway point. Am I right?
Halfway home. What a
Halfway
dark
home.
Destination we're headed for, it would appear.
Yes, indeed. What are your thoughts on the episode, Catie?
I don't know about you, but after I watched this episode, I felt like gross and sad.
Yeah, I didn't really feel that as much. I don't know. I guess this is what I've come to expect from Fargo, so I
And
don't see
it's
how
not to
this.
say there were moments in the episode where I laughed a lot. So,
Well, yeah, the
it's
show.
still Fargo. It's always that combination of disturbing and amusing. But I felt a little more disturbed than amused this time.
Oh,
And
okay.
there's always going to be an episode like that, but this was pretty bad.
What exactly was so disturbing to you?
Okay, well, there was much grossness with
Mm-hmm.
the VM Varga, who has gone over the edge as like the worst person on Fargo that's ever been on Fargo. Like, give me Billy Bob Thornton over this guy any day of the week.
Like just pissing in a coffee cup and making someone drink it. That's where you draw the
That
line.
is not all he did. He was bad mouthing fat people, Jewish people. Like, he
Yeah.
was just a sleazeball, and his goons, the things that came out of their mouths, I was just
Yeah, the comment
disgusted.
there's no difference between a pastrami sandwich and a dick in a mouth.
Yeah, that's poetry, right? And then
You have a fat wife. Just like straight. That's like how he started the conversation.
and his
You
whole
have
deduction of how he just completely diminishes this person to their fatness, and therefore they have these qualities that they'd
right.
prefer a tray of cold cuts to, I don't know, whatever. And I know
Yeah.
he's like a little bit tongue in cheek and he's manipulating Emmett or Cy, but like everything that he did and said just skeeved me out so hard. And his goons as well. And
Mhm.
the sadness came in with the ending of the episode. Did not care for that.
Didn't care for the ending.
Well, I liked that she got up and she didn't just lay there, Nikki,
Yeah.
after getting the ever loving shit kicked out of her. But I
Mhm.
didn't like the said shit kicking.
Did you think she was dead right at when it was happening, or
For a split second, well, I didn't know they were just going to beat her up. I thought they might just take her around the corner and, like, slit her throat or something. Like, clearly the message is to scare her, right? Or do you think she's dead, gonna die?
I guess she could still die, but yeah, I think the message was to send a message. Yeah.
Okay,
that
but why do they want to scare Ray and Nikki? Isn't
Oh, I thought it was because they thought, or Varga thinks that Sai is colluding with Ray. Like
doesn't
they're in,
Varga just want Emmett to think that? He doesn't really think that. He wants Emmett to think that.
that's what I'm confused about. I don't know. I didn't know how to read that, and maybe
I
you can
see
tell me.
Emmett as wanting or no, I'm getting my names all confused. I'm sorry. I see Varga as wanting Sai out of the picture because Emmett, that's Sai's. Sai is Emmett's right hand man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And he has Emmett's ear, and if he gets rid of Sai, then only Varga has Emmett's ear because Varga's already getting through to Emmett. So if you eliminate the Sai filter, then he has a lot easier access to Emmett.
So yeah, you're convinced that Varga doesn't believe there's collusion at all. It's just
Yeah.
something he's making up. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I
And I
just
can
wasn't sure.
And to me, maybe beating up Nikki was a way to scare Sai. He just doesn't care that he hurts this girl, who he hurts. He just wants to scare Sai.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
he
So
probably thought that Sai meeting Nikki meant that they were they cared for each other somehow.
So what is Varga like tapping Sai's phone then, and he knows like that he's going to meet this lady, or they
Well,
were
those
just
guys were tailing him the whole time.
yeah,
His
that's right. They were
goons.
they were just tailing him. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yep, you got it.
Hmm.
Okay. So yeah, not I thought she was dead at first, and then when the camera lingered for a second, I was like, oh, okay, she's alive.
Gonna get up. I was
Yeah.
really happy when she got up. I was screaming at my TV. I was like, "Get up, girl!" She
Did
did.
you see the wolf at the end of the episode?
There was a wolf?
Yeah, or something like that. Like
Where?
the last shot of the episode was like
Oh yeah.
it was like a monster or something, and I think it was supposed to be the wolf, right? I don't know,
Because Varga is the wolf.
because Varga's the wolf.
We didn't see nearly enough of Peter in this episode.
No, not enough. We did get. I think all we really got was the sort of Laura Buxton thing. Um,
Yeah, that guy's such a dick. Her chief, new chief, whatever. He sucks.
his name is Mo, right?
Really?
Chief Mo.
That's a name.
I think that's his name. But yeah, he's
Okay.
a. I mean, I guess we'll say it every week. He's a total prick.
Yeah.
And clearly he just sees all this as coincidence. I mean, he cites. Had you ever heard of the story of Laura? Is it Laura Buxton? Do I have that right?
I don't think it's a commonly known story. I think they made it up for the show.
It is a known story.
What?
Yeah, I looked it up. It's true. It's a true story.
Okay.
Yeah. So this girl, at her grandparents' 50th anniversary or something like that, her
Mm-hmm.
grandpa, for shits and giggles, are like, let's tie your name to a balloon and send it off and say, and just to be funny, they're like, please return to Laura Buxton at this address. And this thing flies like 100 some miles away. And so the true story is that it wasn't actually found by Laura Buxton herself. It was found by some guy who knew another set of Buxtons had a daughter named Laura. And so he gave it to them. So it ended up in the hands of a different Laura Buxton. And then they ended up getting in touch with each other. But one of the weird parts about it was they were like 9 and 10 years old, like the same height, same hair color. They both had like the same pets and all this stuff. So the
Weird.
coincidences ran really deep. But yeah, he just cites that as an example of.
Okay, but that's like I could say, okay, I went to a video store at 11:57 and I don't know where I'm going with this, but like I'm just saying I could come up with some random coincidence and use that as a justification to just say everything's a coincidence when like that is one crazy instance of a coincidence. Whereas Gloria and Winnie actually have all this, like this is clearly what happened. There's
they don't.
cops, they've deduced this is what happened.
They don't have evidence though.
Yeah, but they do though.
But they
have
don't.
a phone book that's been ripped out of the phone book page that's been ripped out of the phone book. They have the connection between the Stussies. They have the fact that Ray got fired from his job.
Because we as viewers don't even know what really happened. For all we know,
yeah, that's accurate.
They're actually wrong. Like,
yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, that doesn't mean that Maurice killed Stussie. Like, I'm still not convinced that's what happened.
Exactly. All Maurice ever said was that I think the guy is dead. As in, I didn't kill him. He was dead when I got there.
So do you think this emerging theme then is and it's so weird because I just finished a book where this was like the theme. Like, there are different versions of the truth, and it doesn't really matter which one is the actual truth because, like in Survivor, perception is truth. And so, you have the very first scene of the season with the the wrongfully accused German guy. Was he German?
Well, yeah, and that actually ties in with another story being told by Varga when he's putting his schwanz in the mug. Is that
Sai absolutely killed me in this episode.
Yeah, he was great. But the story he's telling is that he says a chicken is an egg's way of making another egg. it's all about perspective or perception.
I
So
find that to be such pseudo-philosophical garbage.
yeah,
Don't you?
maybe, but the point is that it ties together the idea that perception is everything, and the
Yeah.
fact is that we don't know. I think we're being led to believe that these girls have cracked the case, but maybe they don't even, maybe they're wrong. They don't have evidence. What if Mo is actually right?
He could be. He didn't
Crazy,
get
right?
promoted to new chief for nothing. But
I
it
actually
also,
just came to that discussing this with you now. I didn't,
well, that's
I,
why we do this.
yeah, I came into this podcast on the other side, but now I'm like, whoa, maybe, I was just
Yeah,
playing
it always
devil's
helps.
advocate.
It helps to
You know?
talk.
Yeah.
But it's another aspect to get to another aspect of the episode where
Mhm.
Emmett's wife received the sex tape, and it was false. It was not really Emmett in the tape, but because she believes that, the damage is already done, and can they come back from that?
Yeah, that's a good question. That was a big question I had during the episode was like, why doesn't Emmett do anything to try to convince her that this, I mean, like, why doesn't he show her the tape and be like, look, he's wearing a wig. Like, that's
What's he gonna
Ray.
do? Be like, come, honey, watch this horrifying tape that made you leave your wife or husband of 25 years. Watch closely and look at the details that are wrong. Like, who would
Okay,
do
yeah.
that?
That's a good point. I mean, maybe it'd be hard to get her to watch that, but you just have to question that. You're like, why didn't he try to tell her, I have a twin brother, right? Like,
Mhm.
it's possible
They're
that,
not twins.
well, whatever.
I
They
have a
look
brother
exactly
that
this.
looks like
They're
me.
played by the same actor. They look exactly the same.
One's
So,
got a messed up nose
oh yeah,
and is a little bit fatter,
and balding.
balding.
Yeah, poor bastard.
Still handsome. He's such a handsome man. I think that like at least 3 times an episode. I'm like, what a handsome man.
Yeah. So yeah, the sex tape. That's when Emmett chooses to, not Emmett, sorry, Ray.
We're really bad with this tonight.
That's when Ray chooses to propose to Nikki Swango. Did you find this moment sweet in any way, or?
No, I found it like I just felt bad for Ray. Like he's clearly bad at everything. Like he has these good intentions. He bungles them up. He bungles up his proposal. He screws up the stamp stealing. He screws up the breaking into the bank stealing. Like and they can't do anything right, these two.
Yeah, I don't know. I found the moment kind of sweet, even though it was really weird.
Could have been a better time. I would have preferred a better time if I were her, but I still not sure what her game is because I keep thinking she's playing him, but then she seems just as dumb as he does, right?
Yeah, I mean, she's kind of all season. She's kind of bounced back and forth between being like really smart, like a smart criminal, and just really dumb. So,
But she's clearly the one pulling the strings on this whole scheme.
well, yeah, she seems to be the one who's more assertive and willing to take action to get what they want.
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
like when she's basically when they find out that well, Sai calls them and says, "You're the stupidest person alive," or so. Yeah, he's like, "Congratulations, you're the stupidest person alive." That's how he starts the conversation, and yeah, so they realize that their plan didn't work because the wife watched it without going through Ray. Or God damn it,
wasn't that what they wanted? Didn't they want her to watch it?
Well, they wanted they wanted Emmett to see it first and pay the money so that she never saw it.
That's right.
Yeah.
He might have, yeah.
Yeah, that's the idea. And so, yeah, that's why he says they're the stupidest person alive, because they just dropped it on the doorstep and expected a woman to see that and not watch it, which is makes them completely stupid. But anyways, when they realize that, it didn't work the way they wanted it to, Swango just doubles down and asks for $200,000.
That's true.
And yeah, I guess I was just using that as the example of how she was being assertive. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it seemed like she got in over her head, like she'd made a mistake with the tape in the first place, or the CD, but then she recovers and becomes smart again. So it's like hard to tell who she really is.
Right. And I guess it does play into the perception thing again, because she tells Sai that, the fact is that Emmett banged Swango or whatever. And he's like, that's
just
not
a hooker.
true.
You can't see her face.
Yeah. He's like, that's not true. That didn't happen. She's like, it's still a fact. It because the wife thinks it is Emmett.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, perception, as you mentioned, perception in that case from the wife's perspective. So there's that. There's that.
There's that.
Okay, I got a funny line here, but I don't remember who says it.
Probably Sai.
Oh no, okay, they pick up Emmett. Am I thinking of no? They pick up Ray to interview him in the police station, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Think of Jesus, his actions."
Yeah, Ray was trying to like bungle out of his cop interview. It was kind of the same as Nikki. Like you were like, oh, he sucks at this, but also he doesn't suck at this. It was confusing. But how did he get out of it again? What happened?
Mo
Chief
showed up.
got mad at her. Yeah,
Yeah,
the chief was
and he's like,
shut her down.
Yeah, he doesn't want them to waste any more time on it because there's no evidence. But
well, this
I think it goes deeper than that. Yeah, I mean, I think it is personal to him for some reason. But
this is par for the course for Fargo. I mean, they never want the cops to continue on an investigation. Like in the first season, new chief, I forget his name, Saul from Breaking Bad, was shutting Molly down.
Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know the name of the character.
Oh, yeah.
And then in the second season, you had the cops from Sioux Falls trying to stop Lou from the incompetent Sioux Falls cops trying to stop Lou from getting near the potential massacre, which did become a massacre.
Yeah.
Because the cops are idiots. So you always have this.
Yeah, kind of like good cops being held back by the dumb cops kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like all those buddy cop movies where they're like, you know how in Community where Abed plays the chief and he's like, I don't want you two getting anywhere near this case. You hear me? And then they leave and he's like, don't worry, they needed that. Like, that's like the fire they need to continue investigating the case they're not supposed to be investigating.
Oh, yeah. No, that makes perfect sense.
It's
nice.
a trope.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay,
we need to give some props to Sai in this episode. This seemed like to be a mostly Sai episode, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I mean, he did stuff. What did he do?
Well, he was completely disgustingly harassed by Varga and his goons. And then he went to meet that wealthy widow to try to sell the whole company and, wash their hands of Varga and everybody.
As I said at that part, and I read word for word in an article, good luck with that.
Well, she doesn't know yet what she'd be buying. That's why he'll probably want to try and hurry up the deal, but something tells me it won't go through.
Her name is the Widow Gold
Farm? Gold
It's
Farm?
not
Goldfish?
Gold Farm. It's like Gold Bar or something like
Gold
that.
Bar? Goldman?
Yeah, Gold Bar. We'll say Gold Bar.
Widow Gold Bar.
The Widow Gold Bar. But I don't see that ending well for anybody. I mean, they can't just sell the company without incurring the wrath of Varga, So
I hate that guy. He's a disgusting shit stain.
Yeah. So what else did Sai do? That was
then he went to talk to Emmett after his wife left him, and they had a moment. Each of them was trying to complain about their problems, and then finally they got on the same page. And Emmett said he could go after Ray without shackles off.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. What does this mean when you take the shackles off of Sai? Have the shackles been on this whole time? What does that mean?
Well, because before Sai was just like threatening him, like standing by his Humvee. Jeez.
Hummer.
Not a Hummer. Humvee.
Humber.
Yeah, but don't you call it a Humvee also? Humvee?
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, like he will just stand by his large car and point at him. Like, that's not doing anything. It's just threatening him.
It's empty threats. Yeah. Yeah.
And now he's actually meeting with Nikki and offering a deal and such.
Right. So,
Which
yeah,
I have to admit
off.
is less.
I don't think that means like he's willing to murder them or anything like that.
Not judging by the reaction he had after seeing her get beat up. Like, his shackles off was a lot more benign than I thought it would be.
Yeah, no, I think you make a good point there. And yeah, we should point out how awesome that performance was by the actor that plays Sai. Like,
he's amazing. He's my favorite in the whole season.
He's the best actor in the season. Yeah, I agree. Mm-hmm. And I think without showing her getting beat, they were able to portray this
on his face.
Well, like, look how you left the episode feeling so like saddened by that beating. Like, yeah, I think that's all delivered. That's all delivered through that actor's performance. So I mean, mad props to the actor who plays Sai. Can we still say mad props? Is that
say whatever you want? I think his name is Michael Stolbarg. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's something like that.
Have you ever seen A Serious Man?
I haven't, but I saw a picture of him without his mustache, and I'm like, I've seen that guy a million times in a million things.
Yeah, he was also in. I think he's in Arrival too.
Yeah,
if you've seen that.
I haven't. It's on my list of things to watch, but
right. He has a pretty small part in that, though. A Serious Man, he plays the main character, and it's not the greatest movie, but it's all right, and he's kind of the glue that holds it together, So, yeah, I like that guy.
He's good.
But lost my train of thought. Yep.
Well, yeah, me too. Where were we going with this? I just, to me, Sai was the most prevalent character in the episode, and I thought that was one of the reasons it was a good episode. Even though it left me with these kind of icky emotions, I don't think it was a bad episode. I think it was a good episode. Any episode that makes you feel something has to be good,
Right. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about the IRS guy showing up.
I was so scared for that guy. He's going to die, isn't he? Or no, they're going to just give him fake books, right?
Well, that's step one, but Varga talks about, like, do you know if he has a wife and kids? Because he's like sort of, trying to figure out how can we get leverage on this guy? How can we, scare him good? And usually you go to the family and he will comply. Yeah, as messed up as that is. And what's really weird is that it felt like Varga is sort of bending Emmett's ear, or like he's almost grooming him in that moment, like saying, this is what you do. And maybe it's not even Varga that's going to be taking action on this. It's like he's like making suggestions to Emmett on what Emmett should do. Like, does he have a wife and kids? And so you have to wonder, is Emmett turning to the dark side soon and starting to act like
Obi-Wan would never turn to the dark side. Obi-Wan is strictly the light side of the Force, but there are two of him in this show, so
yeah, so maybe it's spread too thin, like too little butter over too much bread or something.
Yeah, that's right.
That makes no
mixing
sense.
Your franchises there, but that's right.
So yeah, anyways, they're gonna use these fake books as a temporary measure, and Emmett didn't even know they had fake books, but
would have made things a lot easier if he would have come off a lot less panicky if he would have known they were fake books.
Right. So what does the Russian say before Swango gets beat down?
He's talking about the devastating genocides, basically, in Russia. They called them something else, pogroms, during the World War II days that people don't talk about nearly as much as other things, which are really bad parts of history.
Yeah.
And just talking about how, again, he said, this place reminds me of Siberia. To myself, I'm thinking, Minneapolis is not Siberia, but whatever.
Yeah.
They have snow. Okay, there's one thing in common, snow. But and then he just went on some dumbass soliloquy about how the snow covers the blood. Like, it snows in a lot of places, idiot. Like, I don't know. I wasn't moved by that. Maybe because I hate that guy and his goon friend and Varga, but did you
Yeah.
find it moving or profound at all?
No, I actually that's why I asked you that. I kind of spaced out at that part. I don't know.
It's weird. You know how I always kind of, well, I guess in the second season I didn't like the goons because they never spoke. First season I liked the goons. Second season, whatever, take them or leave them, but I hate these goons.
Well,
I hate
these
them.
goons are just pretty much straight up bad
Wankers.
dudes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they seem like good at their job of being bad guys.
Yeah, I'm sure that's why they got the job, but I'm looking forward to their deaths.
Right. So Swango manages to get her ass in a car and drive herself back to their place. And she ends up in a bathtub where Ray finds her.
She looks like she needs a blood transfusion.
Yeah, so what do you think is what's coming? Is she
He'll
okay?
take her. I don't know. He'll take her to the hospital. I mean, they're not officially wanted by any kind of cops or anything. There's no warrant out for their arrest, so I think they're safe going to the hospital, right?
Well, does she have a new parole officer or what's going on with that?
I don't know, probably, but what does that have to do with it? She doesn't have to leave the state to go to the doctor.
Well, as long as she's been honoring her parole or whatever, like if she has been, it's like Ray just got fired maybe like a couple days before or something, right?
Oh, so
So
you're saying he shouldn't take her to the doctor? Like, because that would look weird? It doesn't
maybe,
matter anymore.
I guess I'm just wondering, is she violating parole in any way? Like,
When you're dying, you're not violating parole by going to the hospital.
no, but I mean, if she had been violating parole and then she's on the radar, they find her, then she's in trouble.
I
She's
don't think she
arrested.
was doing anything that violated parole. I mean, she was trying to blackmail someone, but he's not going to come to the hospital. He left her there, and he's not going to probably want to have anything to do with her.
Probably not, because I'm sure he doesn't feel too good about what happened to her, even though,
She's going to kill him.
yeah. So yeah, I think things are finally going to start heating up. Do you think the second half of the season is going to really ramp up in intensity?
That's usually
Because
how it goes with this show. I remember the first half of the first season. I remember feeling similarly, like, okay, this is interesting. I like some of the characters, but where is it going? And then the second half, like after Molly got shot, things kind of started coming together and heating up. And so I feel that's just kind of how this show works.
yeah, see, I binge watched season 2, so I don't really know how it felt from week to week.
Well, yeah,
But
I binge watched both of them. But it was the same kind of thing. Like when Lou kind of put together that Peggy and Ed were responsible for killing Rye, then from there things heated up, and that was midway through the season. So I think you're seeing a similar trajectory here.
okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I think that after this episode, I kind of felt a little disappointed. I felt like things aren't moving as much as I would like. Like I didn't feel sad or gross like you did, but
Really?
I actually felt more like I want more stuff to happen now. I'm ready for some
Yeah,
action.
but that's always how this show goes.
Yeah, so that was pretty North Dakotan there. So
So
so I just hope the
okay, so I heard this lady at Target today with the worst North Dakota accent.
see, they're out there. Like it's not.
Oh, they're out there,
total-
and that's why it kills me when people, like a lady I work with was. I asked her, I was like, "Hey, do you watch Fargo?" Just trying to strike up conversation. She's like, "No, I don't care for the way that they,
portray us.
portray us." And I'm like, "It's their own loss." but whatever. She
Yeah, I
probably
mean
would get it anyway.
that's like if everyone in the South didn't watch shows where people have Southern accents that are exaggerated.
Yeah,
That's how I look at it. Like if you take it personally like that, you're kind of a
you got a thin skin and you
you're
need
kind of a
to
douche.
toughen up because
Yeah,
there are worse things out
that
there in the world. And you're just
accents.
denying yourself entertainment.
Yeah,
Like, what
I
kind of
mean,
fool?
granted, yes, they do think the North Dakota accent makes people sound stupid, and therefore they think North Dakotans are stupid. There is that, but I think the Southern accent is a perfect comparison because we've already talked about this before, though. People always
Yeah,
use the Southern accent as a way to sound stupid. It doesn't mean Southerners are stupid, you know.
exactly. You know, if you're taking yourself that seriously, you're doing it wrong.
You're doing it wrong. So yeah, I hope things ramp up here in the second half of the season.
Oh, I
Any
think we're going to be ramping up. I never get to see the previews. I should start looking up the previews.
Yeah, I watched it and I actually don't remember
Well, it
any of
can't
it.
be that good then.
Like
I'll
literally,
check it out once we
literally
finish
nothing,
it.
nothing. Um,
Maybe you didn't. You just thought you did and just dreamt you did.
that could be. Um, oh, who says this? This is a funny line. He's like, is it Ray or Emmett says it? I don't know, but he's like, his face was absurd, and he means
Obscured?
you mean obscured?
What did I say? I think it was Nikki that said that.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, okay.
um, but I also liked it when Sai said fornicating with cookery. Is that what
Yeah.
he said?
No, like the enemy is at the gates, beyond the gates, fornicating with our cookware.
Oh my god. He's so funny. I could
Yeah,
watch
dude.
him play this character for days. He's amazing.
Oh, he does a really good job at the North Dakotan thing. Like it's his is very believable.
He does a good job of that, of the scare, just being scared. Like it's a believable way of, you know what I mean? He's believably scared
Oh
of
yeah,
what they've unleashed. Like, you
like
know, he's
like
not
most of
overselling
us.
it. He's just, I don't know, it's believable, but it's also funny. And I just love it.
Absolutely. I mean, he's acting like most of us would act if we were in anything like
Yeah,
this.
like any kind of shitstorm like this. Yeah, which hopefully we never find out. But
Yeah. So yeah, once again, good on that actor. He's awesome.
he's excellent.
um
It
so
made
you
me
don't
sad to see how like Emmett was truly devastated because at the beginning I thought maybe he was screwing around on his wife. Like that wouldn't surprise me. But he was just so devastated when she left. I mean, that was sad.
Yeah, and a great performance by Ewan McGregor there too.
Mhm.
And I just thought of another awesome performance from Psy again when he was talking to Widow
Mhm.
Goldbar or whatever. I don't remember her name, but like when he's like losing it, he's like clearly losing his mind, and he's like laughing insanely.
Oh yeah.
It's like, like
What did he say? I had an upsetting experience earlier today.
yeah,
And I was
he's
like,
like
geez, that's an understatement.
kind of like, you ever feel like you're disconnecting from reality or something like that? So
Yeah, that was great. That's
yeah,
what
it
I
was
mean. This
good.
was a powerhouse episode for that guy, for
Yeah.
Sai. Like the third episode was kind of a powerhouse for Gloria, and you didn't see her much in this one, but that's because the focus was elsewhere.
Right. All right. Anything else you want to touch on from the episode?
No, I don't think so. I think I'm gonna move Goon number 2 to the top of my whack list. So
Which one is that? Is that the
the
Russian or the
earbud little guy.
little guy who listens to the earbuds?
Yeah, that guy can eat a dick.
Right on. He can eat a pastrami sandwich.
Cold cuts.
Yes. I am. Wait, are you making predictions yet?
I want him to die, so I'm willing it into happening.
Okay, maybe he will die.
Maybe.
I guess I went back to this. We were both on the Winnie Cop, or what?
You were. I said Sai, but now I don't want Sai to ever die.
No, I don't want him to either. Um, I I don't know if he will die or if he'll be the last one standing, sort of like processing it all. Like,
Maybe he'll be the weird hero of the season.
yeah, that would be great,
Mhm.
actually. So I don't know. I think I'm just gonna leave my vote on Psy to be the first one whacked, just
You
because
said Winnie last week, so you're moving it back to Psy.
moving it back, yeah.
Okay. All
Or I
right,
don't
that
know.
sucks, but
Maybe the IRS guy. I don't know. Let me
oh
see
yeah,
here.
that guy's doomed for sure.
I'm gonna go ahead and say they wouldn't flat out kill the IRS guy because that would just bring a lot
Yeah,
more.
Varga's got to be a little bit smarter than that, especially if they have fake books. What do they have to worry about? Like after they said that, I felt a little better about the guy, but when he was there the whole time, I was like, okay, how's he gonna die? Because it's coming.
Yeah. Although you could see maybe Emmett trying to deal with him and things get out of hand and he ends up killing him on accident somehow.
True.
I mean,
That's a
that's
very Fargo
a
thing to
very Fargo
happen.
thing to happen. So I don't know. I'll stick with Psy for now. I hope that
Okay.
I hope I'm wrong. I love him.
Who knows, man?
He's the MVP of this episode, as we said 1,000 times.
He is. He's great.
Okay.
Don't ever die.
All right. Anything else, Catie?
No, I'm looking forward to things kicking up a notch.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Coming.
That'll do it for this episode of the podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate your time for listening to us. And you can follow us on Twitter at TVIsOurRealMom. And please like, comment, favorite, and subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Have a good one.